green?
I'm green. Are you green? Recording started. I don't think I can test record on this one.
You have to just record.
No, I mean, I'm recording.
Hey.
I just don't think it's a test.
You're going home tonight, right?
Yeah, why?
When you get home,
Jesus
walk
Christ.
in your house.
No, listen.
Look at your wife.
We might be podcasting right now, so keep it appropriate.
Okay. Well, look at your wife and say, hey, babe, I'm jealous of your heart.
What does that mean?
You're much of that older than
This was this was a kid-friendly show, but I don't think it is now.
This doesn't go live, right? You can edit it. You can delete it.
Maybe. I don't know. How much of this do you want to try and see if this is like we're actually doing it?
No.
Why?
I'm not ready for that.
You don't want a podcast right now, bro?
Podcast and get paid at the same time? I'm in. Let's
No,
go.
nobody pays you. I wouldn't announce that for shit's sakes. You just broadcasted to the whole world that we're at our jobs getting paid.
I didn't say that out loud. You just did.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. What would be the repercussions of that, though? I mean, like we would be shooting the shit at work anyway. What's the difference if we were just recording a conversation?
Talking about, this is how we ease our trauma that we experience in our job.
Do you experience trauma in your job?
Every day. Just by going to work.
Yeah. How long have you been going to work?
How often do I want to go to work?
No. Like how long have you been doing this job?
This job?
Yeah. Well, not this particular job. I'm talking about in EMS.
Since 2011. So what is that, 13 years?
Yeah. That's about as long as I've been doing this job.
Been full-time, though, for 7.5.
So you're 26?
Probably.
How'd you end up in EMS late? Like, well, that's not really late for our career, for our job, for most people, but it wasn't right out of school. So what made you at 26 or 27 decide to get into EMS?
I didn't mean to.
You didn't mean to.
Well,
how was that even?
I graduated from Iowa State. I moved back home on the job hunt and started working for my dad.
Back home is where, Audubon?
Audubon. And then I got on the fire department because they had an opening and I had nothing better to do. So I jumped on the fire department and I responded to a 911 call as an ambulance driver, CPR certified. Oh. And this person died right in front of us, and I was doing CPR in the ER. How old?
No, I said, oh, no.
Oh, yeah. And so I'm doing CPR for the first time ever on a real person, and they stopped me. They go, time of death, and they pronounced her dead. And I thought I did something wrong.
Sometimes that just happens, though.
It does. So it kind of made me wonder like what I did wrong. So I went to EMT school. Like, hey, you need to do this.
Did you?
I'm to find out she had a AAA. I wasn't going to save her.
There's no coming back from that, really.
No. So
unless you get to a surgery center in time, which is hard to do.
I went to EMT school, and then I just kind of fell in love with it, and then went to paramedic school, and here I am.
Is Carroll considered Central Iowa, South Central Iowa, Western Central Iowa?
We call it Western Iowa.
You're in Western Iowa?
But we are part of the 1A Service Coalition area, so we are part of the Dallas-Polk County Coalition.
Oh.
But I call it Western Iowa, but it's probably considered more central.
Either way, it's a long ass way out there.
Yeah.
And I'm always surprised at the lack of trees in that entire county.
Yeah, the northern part of the county is pretty flat.
It's pretty flat.
You get south, it gets pretty hilly. There's a lot of trees down there.
When you got on this fire department, this was a volunteer service?
Yeah.
Were you married?
No, I was dating / almost engaged.
To your wife?
My wife, yeah.
You guys talked about it, and you're like, hey, listen, I think I want to put this thing in the house that's going to go off every now and then, and then when it goes off, I got to run out. And she's cool with that, obviously.
Yeah, it's pretty cool at times.
You have a conversation.
Just volunteer. Come go as you please.
And that was in Audubon?
It was in Audubon.
And then you went to EMT school, and obviously you passed, ran, and then you got your first job. What was your first job?
First job was, I think I did full-time EMT at Crawford County in Denison.
Oh.
I did that for a little while. And then
that's got to be southwestern Iowa.
That's
Western.
That Western Iowa?
That's Western. That's west of Western Iowa?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I bought a semi and stuff with my dad and started my own trucking company. So then I ended up just kind of doing that like part-time, like a couple days a week.
The trucking or the EMSing?
The EMS. The trucking was full-time for me.
So you were trucking all day and then running EMS calls at night?
No, I do day shift. I never did night shift EMS. I just do day shift. So either I'd hire somebody to drive for me part-time, or I would just like do it when I didn't have a load, or just I could arrange my schedule however I wanted to.
What did you truck?
livestock and grain, mainly hogs.
Yeah.
Smell like pig crap all day.
Smells like money.
It was paid good.
Did it really?
Yeah.
More than EMS.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What you report on your tax
For
bill
what?
is
Yeah.
different than what you.
What the government thinks you
Earn,
earn and what
yeah.
you actually earn were two different things. How long did you work as an EMT before you became a paramedic?
I got my EMT in 2013, like January of 13, something like that, and then got my paramedic. I finished school in August of 17 and got it within the next month or two.
When did you get married?
I got married in April of 2013.
So you've been married 4 years before you went back to paramedic school.
Yep. Well, yeah, I started paramedic school in 16, so I was married 3 full years.
3
and
full
then
years.
started paramedic school.
Kids by then?
1.5.
So you're starting a young family, basically a newlywed, and you're like, listen, I'm going to go all in on this EMS and thing. And when you went to school, was it full-time school, part-time school?
It was every Thursday you go to Council Bluffs and do skills,
Yeah.
and the rest of your stuff was online, all your tests and your lectures and stuff. Like this is kind of the first hybrid program that they had in Iowa.
And your wife was working?
My wife was working for the Audubon Hospital as their foundation director.
Nice. With a small child?
With, yeah, two, something like
I
that.
don't know. You got as many as I do. So
Actually, a new
get to
baby.
that.
But we had one child that was born in 2014. It would have been 2, and one that was born in February of 16. So I started with him as like 4 or 5 months old.
Did you have the trucking business while you were going to primary school?
Which made it super easy because I set my own schedule. So I'd haul pigs when I had to. And
It's interesting that you say it made it super easy, because anytime anybody's gotten into this profession with a young family, there's always seems to be struggles with scheduling and understanding, and one person seems to always bear the load of being at home with the kids while the other one is out trying to earn their way through the profession. Did you guys have that same type of?
so my schedule was like on my days I had loads, I'd usually load, and we didn't have kids, in school, so they'd go to daycare. My
Yeah.
wife would go to work. Not a lot of drama there. But I'd go load at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'd be home by noon, and then I had the rest of the afternoon to focus on studying and getting my work done before she got off work, because the kids needed picked up from daycare.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So, and then on Thursdays, it was just every Thursday I went to Council Bluffs. And I didn't have to be there till 9 o'clock, and we were done. Yep, I think 4:30.
And then you were able to go home.
I was able.
Were
to
you
go home.
working that part-time EMS job at nights to keep competent in skills, or did you just not do any sort of EMS work during the time that you were in your?
I was working for Midwest Medical part-time. I kind of helped them get it started in Audubon, which brought the aircraft hangar
to
and
it.
stuff
Sure,
there.
sure.
And then so I just kind of pick up what I could, but it's like all call based. So you could just be at home whenever you wanted, and then just if there's a transfer, you had 20 minutes to get there and get moving. But that's kind of a touchy subject, but they told me they were going to pay for paramedic school for a lot of the work and that effort, and I got about 2 or 3 months into paramedic school, and that didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
So
now you had to add the financial strain on top of your. I mean, it didn't sound like your schedule was much of a strain, like you were managing well. You had 2 small children and a wife at home that worked normal hours, but unexpectedly now all of a sudden you got to dish out or come up with your tuition.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I just paid for it myself, and then I didn't owe anybody anything. And
yeah, sure.
Probably best choice anyways. But when that kind of all went down, I was like, I'm done with you guys.
You guys meaning
Midwest
sure.
Medical.
Yep.
So then I didn't work there anymore, and I just kind of focused on school and getting through that and my business, and I just still volunteered with the fire department.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing my ride time in Carroll like that fall, and within probably 2 months of doing ride time pretty regularly, they're like, hey, you want a job? So
yeah,
like, sure, I'll do it. It's kind of my goal was to get here full time anyway. So
and you were living in Audubon at the time?
Yep.
How far is that from Carroll?
27 minutes.
Not bad.
Nope.
Normal commute around the metro.
Yep. Yeah. Except there's no traffic.
Yeah. There's probably more deer than cars.
Probably.
Not really.
It was usually more cats and dogs.
I was going to say, there's nowhere for deer to hide in that county.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, probably.
Take you out there pheasant hunting sometime. You'd be like, oh, hey, these hills suck.
Listen, we just flew there. I did not see one hill.
We're 2,000 feet in the air. You can't see hills.
All I saw was
I
green
promise
fields.
your hips are going to tell you different.
I feel like I said that to somebody once. So you went to school, passed your paramedic, got a full-time job in Carroll, or a part-time job.
Yep. Passed my paramedic and
What'd you do with the trucking business?
kept doing it.
Oh,
So, and one of the paramedics I work with in Carroll, he would drive for me on the days that I was working in Carroll, and then when he was working, I was driving. So, I paid him a good wage to do that on the side, and he made good money, and I made good money. And
and this is what year? 2017, 2018?
2017, and then
Still 2 kids.
I had by July of 18, we had the third kid.
Okay. So things are getting a little more intense around the
Yeah,
Hansen
actually,
house.
Just
Just out of curiosity, did she take your last name?
Yeah.
I was just curious.
So when I passed my paramedic stuff, we celebrated by going to Napa Valley, and that's how we got a third kid.
It's funny how that works, isn't it?
Right?
Yeah.
And then, so I was working, and then COVID happened. And when COVID happened, I just had this awkward feeling that things were going to get really shitty.
What do you mean?
Just like the economy and trying to like work and keep things moving. So
As far as
the trucking
the
side,
trucking side of it,
I mean, that was still essential, but I was like, there's going to be, I think, a lot of opportunity to hopefully profit off of the medical side of things. And it worked out that we slowed down, and I basically just like, I'm just going to sell my semi and just get out of this. I'm done with the doing both, you know.
Yeah,
so I
sure.
focused more on the medical side of things and went all in and focused on doing that full time, and then picking up like a part-time job here or there.
I was just going to ask you, you seem like you have a lot of, like, your hands in a lot of things in Western Iowa, which is good, which is what a lot of us do, right? We all have a full-time job or used to, and a part-time job, and then we get interested in this, but you seem to be a little more involved than most, but you're also, 13 years into your career. So you full-time in Carroll, and you're also the training officer.
Training officer for Carroll. I've been doing that for about 3 years now.
County emergency management, is that not you? You do something for Audubon, though.
Nope. So when COVID happened and they're looking at keeping all these intubated patients or patients on BiPAP or CPAP, Audubon reached out to me to ask about help. If I'd help manage these vent patients as a critical care paramedic, and
in their facility,
and basically help in the ER if there's traumas or codes that would come in because the nurses, a lot of them were younger and inexperienced, and they just weren't comfortable with like vent management. So they contacted me, and so I started kind of working there a little bit.
How did they know to contact you?
I did a lot of clinical time there through paramedic school. I
just got to know people.
I know everybody,
and you're from there.
Yep. And then so I was doing that just a little bit at my own convenience, and then Manning did the same thing, contacted me about the same issue. So I was living in Templeton, where I'm at now, which was only 8 miles from Manning. So I was like, yeah, hey, I can run over there. You know, you have something, I can help you troubleshoot the van or help manage whatever. Same thing, trauma codes, things like that. Well, when I brought up the trauma thing, their trauma coordinator had resigned and came down to the ICU on contract pay here in Des Moines. So like, hey, can you help us run this trauma program, do the reporting with the state? We have re-verification next year, like get us through it. And I said, absolutely, I'll look good on a resume, and I'm also something I'm passionate about and I enjoy. So I started helping Manning with their trauma program and their critical care patients that they had to hang on to. So those were all like part-time gigs.
Sure, but all those part-time gigs usually add up to full-time commitments, right? So this is COVID. You have 3 small children at home, a young wife, and you were working 24-hour shifts in Carroll or 48s?
We do 2 on, 3 off, so 48s.
And then in the 3 off during the height of COVID, you're knee deep in home COVID tests. So where I'm going with this
is, but actually, a lot of the Manning work, the trauma work, I did all from my office at home remotely. I was partaking in TSAC meetings and MSAC and doing trauma education lectures and doing TQIP stuff and all kinds of trauma program things where I could do it from home and it'd be on my opt-in and had nothing else to do, and I was getting paid to sit at home and hang out with my kids.
Kids were still in daycare. Were they home with
Some
you?
of them were in school, some of them were home, but and if I really didn't go in or pick up shifts for 12 hours at the hospital. It was more like, hey, can you come in here for an hour and help? So it was either a yes or no. If it was convenient for me, I could do it. And
was it at different times of the day? Like, would they random, like if you
anytime.
left at 10 o'clock in the morning, would they call you back at 3 and be like, listen, man, things headed south after you left. Can you come back in and straighten it out?
Yeah, kind of. A lot of them were just phone calls. I could walk them through the vent on
Did
the
that
phone.
disrupt? So a lot of what we talk about, or a lot of what I try to talk about, is like how we manage the dynamic of being on call or in demand when we have young families and multiple kids, and we're trying to jockey that around. Did any of that challenge your family at all as far as
I didn't realize
workload?
at the time it did, but it did. It all ate away, and that kind of led into where I'm at today and what I kind of experienced with just some job burnout probably a year and a half ago.
Did you think that at the time, so I don't know that we never do, were things, and I'm not trying to dig into your personal life, but I want to know, like, for me, I didn't realize what I was doing either. I had a bunch of kids. They were young. I really didn't know what I was doing as a dad. I was tired all the time. Like, undoubtedly we see shit that the normal person doesn't see. But I was like, if things got tough at home, I always knew I could go to work where I thought things were easy. But I didn't really know it at the time. It took me getting out of it because I was working 2 jobs. Seems like I was always getting up, going somewhere, or getting up to come home from somewhere. And I didn't realize it at the time. I was just EMSing, man. I was just out there doing it. Thought I was having a good time, and then I'd get home and I'd get in a little over my head, and then I'd be like, well, looks like there's an overtime shift coming. Not knowing that I was doing it. And then after a while, it kind of comes to a head where you're like, shit, something with me is broke. And then you look back and you're like, oh, I see what it is. Seems like I've been working 80 hours this week, and I've spent very little time at my house with my small children and my wife, whom I've made a commitment to.
Right.
Right. And then the light bulb kind of goes off, and you're like, ah, shit, I got to do something different.
Did I tell you this story already?
Did you see that coming or not?
Did you just repeat the story I already told you?
What are you talking about?
That's the exact same story I would have told
But
you.
it didn't seem like that. Like the story you were painting was like, nah, shit, man, everything was rainbows and sunshine. We did great.
Well, no, like you don't realize it until one day it all catches up to you, and you're like, I'm not a good person. I'm not nice to my wife. I'm not nice to my kids. I'm not nice to people. Like this is not who I am. That's not who I want to be. And you just, whether your wife is the person that needs to punch you in the nose and make you realize what's up, or you can mentally take that step back and say, like, I'm not okay. 'Cause it's okay to not be okay, but you have to recognize it and admit it, and make that commitment to self-invest and make that change. And that's where I was.
What was it for you? Like, what was the light bulb moment?
It was, without digging into personal details, it was just a conversation my wife and I had that basically said, like all of what you've done over the last 10 years, is just kind of built up this giant bubble in this balloon, and it's either going to burst and pop and go completely to shit, or you're going to have to let the air out. And there's that realization of, what's important in my life and what means the most to me. And that's my family. So I you're not wrong. And that was a conversation that was repetitive for 5 years before it was actually took it seriously, and it shouldn't have took that long, and that's my fault.
Yeah.
But so I got on the phone and made a phone call to like a counseling service or whatever you want to call it, and got myself got like on the pathway of being better mentally, physically, and emotionally, and trying to be a better dad, husband, coworker, all the above.
Did some of that probably took like taking some food off your plate, right? Like, maybe we're not going to spread it. And I can't imagine. So during COVID, the height of COVID, I only had one job. I still had 4 small kids, but my responsibilities to the medical community weren't as broad as yours, which COVID itself added a whole different level of stress to things, right? Burnout, and just my resiliency, just because every patient seemed to be the same, different verse, same song type of thing. And it was just everywhere you went. And by the time I got home, like I really didn't have anything in the tank. I can't imagine doing it. Like the COVID protocol itself for EMS was basically biohazard. We're going to put all the suits on and do everything until either it's COVID till proven otherwise. So like every call you had to go on was basically okay, I guess I got to put these little footies on and little hat thing and my PAPR. And then you did that and you find out they don't have COVID and you're like, Jesus Christ. And then you take it all. And then the next time the bell rings, you got to do the whole same thing again. But then you had to go from hospital to hospital in your administrative roles where everybody had mask mandates and all this other stuff. So we were constantly living in some sort of, I have no other word to describe it other than weirdness. Like it was weirdness. It was, so do that times 4, or 3 of how many jobs you had, plus bringing all that home, plus having the small children. And then now your school probably has COVID rules. And initially I understand some of them, but after COVID went on, I totally can't understand why some places went farther than as far as they did. But then you get the call that, well, your kid sat next to somebody in school who sat next to somebody in school who had COVID. So now your kid's got to be out for 5 days. And you're like, what does that even mean? I got to go to work and now I don't have daycare. So I can't imagine. Did any of that play a role in the burnout, you think? Just the COVID response? And
I think it did. Everybody, I remember,
as long as we sat in COVID.
I remember going to work and coming home and getting naked in the garage and putting all my shit in a garbage bag.
Family show. Just keep that in mind. Family show.
Oh yeah.
But anyway,
all my stuff. Putting all my stuff.
I meant the naked part. I meant the naked part.
Oh, the naked. I think it's a swear word.
No, I don't care about the swear words. I can click explicit.
But there are cameras in my garage too if you want to see the video. But anyways,
not one time would I ever say please.
But I remember throwing all my stuff in a garbage bag and taking it straight to the washing machine because we were worried that the contamination on the clothing and the boots and stuff would get everybody sick.
Right.
It was scary, and that lasted for about a couple months. And I actually got COVID from work.
Yeah.
But how do I prove it? I don't know that I could. And I got.
But didn't we at the time just assume that it was work
we
related?
Did, we all have lives outside of work, so who knows? I mean, we were at a wedding, and 80% of everybody there got COVID. So
yeah,
I didn't push the issue.
Sure,
but it was bad enough that I did get admitted to the hospital, and the ER doctor came in, who I knew really well. He's like, boy, you're sick. I hope you can pull through this.
For real?
Yeah.
And you were young.
And yeah, he showed me my blood gases, and he wasn't wrong. I was like, oh, these are messed up. And I'm like, huh. But then you're like quarantined by yourself. My dad got his camper out that we use sometimes. He got it out of the shop and he parked it down on our lot where we actually have camper hookups. And I stayed there by myself for like 3 days before I couldn't take it anymore. And I'm just like, I'm not going to die in this camper. I need my family. Who gives a crap if it is what it is. And so I went back home and nobody got sick.
You know what I forgot about that really adds another dimension to this whole conversation is you were a different person physically back then, were you not?
I was.
How so?
I didn't eat healthy. I didn't work out really ever. I was almost 300 pounds.
Jesus.
So when about 18 months ago, when this whole mental breakdown kind of thing happened, it was like, let's get to work. So whenever I get my mind made up on something, it's 1,000 miles an hour until it's completed or finished.
Yeah, buddy. And you're a pro. You go pro, don't you?
I go pro.
You're damn right.
I went hard. So hard enough that I ran myself into back surgery 6 months later.
Sure.
But I dropped almost 100 pounds. When I went in for surgery, I was 192 pounds.
Good for you. And what did you think at the time? Listen, man, I don't know. I really hope this show records. Like, we're just like beta testing this gadget that I got, right? So we could be sitting here shooting the shit.
I'm really nervous.
And nothing could happen, which has happened before, but we'll just do it again. Yeah, I can't read that because I don't have my cheaters on. We're 20. Who gives a shit? It's still recording. I really feel like you're the kind of guy that this show is built for. So, and I say this, you got into EMS a little later. You had a pile of kids. you were not in the best of physical health. You went through some burnout. You kind of figured some shit out. And so you're basically going up the hill, got to the top of the hill and said, listen, and now you're cruising, right? Like now, so you dropped a bunch of weight. You got two pretty good jobs. Your family is healthy and happy. Presumably everything is going well, right? But you came out of that, right? Like the story, the path you took to get to where you are now was not a straight and narrow path. It was a lot of self-reflection, a lot of admitting that you were not the best version of you, and doing work to make yourself a better version of you, which is, I found personally, a daily, like I have to, almost every minute of every day, I have to try to analyze what I'm doing and whether I like it about me or not, right? And lately there's been a lot of, there's a lot of things I could do better. But understanding how to do it better is a different thing than just, man, it'd be really nice to lose 100 pounds, but losing 100 pounds is a whole nother beast, right? So
You lost some weight too, right? You kind of went through a
yeah,
what was a fat phase.
I don't know. I don't know if you can say the word fat. Yeah, when I got married, I was 240 pounds. And it wasn't the same 240 pounds I played football at. It was a much different 240 pounds. But again, same thing. Trying to find, I was young, newlyweds, like I was going through school. There wasn't a lot. I ate a lot of, this place had a McDonald's, and I'm not blaming McDonald's because you can lose weight eating McDonald's. It's all about how much you eat. But same thing, just living EMS, sleep deprived, eating 2 cake donuts and pounding a pint of chocolate milk every morning before I went to work because it was delicious, and not realizing that, that's not true. I always kind of knew, like, man, every time I got up, my EMS pants were a little, but then one day I woke up and I said, listen, I'm tired of not looking like I can help somebody. Like, people call me for help. I should be in a better physically condition than them. And I kind of got tired of saying, yeah, I used to play college football or whatever, but I don't look like it. Like, I just look like another dude. And it wasn't fair to my young wife. And it's not fair. It's not how I want my kids to know me. Right. And so I did the same thing, man. I just got to work. Right. And then again, the momentum builds. And so I got down to probably 175, 180 pounds back in 2010 or 12, and I just kept it off ever since. So I've never been, at least at this point in the last decade, been up and down, which so many people do. And I get why. Like, it's hard. It's diligent work every day to say no to putting things, eating things. I was about to say putting things in my mouth, but I ain't gonna do that around you.
I just like how you grinned and winked at me when you said it.
Right. Well, it's kind of like how the corner of your mouth went up when you're like, please say it. It's diligent work every day. Like, every day I have to think about, is this a good decision or not a good decision? If I want to be in a certain, for my kids, the example for my kids, or the standard that I want to be in the house, or I want my wife to be proud of me. I want her to chase me around the house a little bit every now and then and be like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Right. And I want to go out in the world, and I want to be somebody that people look at and go, man, I'm fucking glad this guy's here. Doesn't take away from anybody's character who's not, but impressions matter, man. Right. Like longevity, health, being a good example to your kids. I've seen pictures of you working out with your kids. Like, you're planting the seed. They're going to do it forever. But it takes diligent work, like every day, right?
Sometimes it's it's exhausting, and it's like
it's exhausting.
It's easier to give up than it is to keep working.
Yes,
and that's the mental battle. And like right now, I'd have a couple of people I work with that they want to get healthy, they want to lose weight, they want to, a lot of this journey, I've learned a lot more about being passionate about self-investment and being the best version of yourself, and sucking less tomorrow, as you tell
Yeah.
me all the time.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell these guys. Hey, every day I'm up at work, and a couple of them that are just starting their own health journey. I'm like encouraging them, keep going,
Yes.
don't give up, keep
Yes.
going. I'm going to the gym. Let's go. I'm not there yet. I'm not ready to do that. I'm not ready to put that exercise or that work into it, but they're eating better and they're starting
Yep.
small. And I said, well, when you're ready, I'm here. And I'm going to tell you every time I go to the gym, I'm going to keep
Welcome.
letting you know, because one day you're going to come with me.
Yeah.
So the other day, one of them did come with me. We walked, 2 miles and sat in the sauna for 27 minutes at 186 degrees, and it felt great.
It sounds awful. As obviously about the sauna session with AJ, man, there's nothing. Maybe if I got used to it, but there's just not. I'm good for this person who did it with you, but it just sounds terrible. I took the temp of my cold tub this morning, and it was only 50 degrees, and I was like, I'm not interested unless it's underneath that. But the sauna thing, I just can't wrap my head around. But I'll try. I'll try anything.
It was 39 degrees when I walked out of my house this morning.
Yeah.
So I went back in and got my hand warmers because I knew it was going to be
Yeah,
cold.
sure you did. I know you did.
But I haven't got my sweater. I just want to make you proud, Dad.
That's all right, sweetheart. It's okay. I really think it's interesting that I wish, and I know that people know how hard it is to do that kind of stuff. I just wish it sometimes for people it wasn't that hard, but it is. And there's no secret. There's no magic. It's a grind. It's work. You got to eat less, right? You don't even have to move more. Like the secret to weight loss is you just have to eat less. Like that's where it's at. It's in the kitchen. The working out stuff is for your longevity and for your durability, right? It's not for weight loss. And I think that's where people get hung up. They think, well, if I want to lose weight, I have to go to the gym. I'm not in shape to go to the gym. That's not true at all. In order to lose weight, you just have to eat less. And you have to eat good food, and you just have to eat less of it. All that other extra shit, the gym stuff is extra. It's for longevity, durability. I was big on, like, if you were to ask me what things have you changed your mind on in the last decade, it'd be walking. I used to say that, man, if I went to the mall and walked as my main form of exercise, I'm probably going to be put out to pasture. But there's so much evidence on it that walking is so much better for running because you don't blow a disc if you run too much with too much weight on you.
You can make the excuse for, like, when you have bad hips just because of the age,
Sure.
Work, so.
But I can recover from a walk. I can walk every day. I can't run every day. I never could, even if, and I feel like I'm in pretty good. I could run now. Like, if you said, hey, man, you want to go run a 5K? I'd be like, sure, I'll go with you. Right.
How would you feel tomorrow or the next day?
Right. I'd be sore.
Yeah, right.
And I'd be tight. My hips would be tight. My legs would be sore, but I could do it. But I couldn't run another 5K tomorrow. Right. I wouldn't be shelled and be like, oh my God, I just can't move. But I wouldn't be in good. I would have to recover 2 or 3 days before I ran another one. But I could run a 5K now.
I don't run that much anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because of that, because it does suck to run and it does hurt. But
yeah,
when I was kind of in that, like, mental low, we'll call it, like, that's what felt good. When you get that runner's high and it's like, this is fantastic.
So what strategies did you use to lose the weight?
For the first 6 months of my journey, it was not appropriate. Like, it was an extreme calorie deficit. I started just walking and trying
disorder level. You think you had a disorder?
You could probably classify it in that sense, but, like, when I initially started, it was like, let's just start moving more. Let's start walking more. Let's set a step goal and try to get 12,000 steps a day. Try to walk 1 or 2 miles a day. And when I'd be at work even on my duty shifts at night, everybody go to bed. I went down. We had a treadmill in the bay, and I'd walk on the treadmill and try to walk for an hour, walk for 30 minutes, whatever I could get accomplished. And then it was a lot of focusing on what I was eating and trying to eat more natural, whole foods, single ingredient type,
like
foods.
real food.
Or if I go out and get a hamburger and French fries, I would eat the hamburger with no bun and eat half the French fries. I kind of just started there.
Portion control.
And then you start seeing the weight fall off. And it makes you feel good, and people start noticing, and
momentum.
And that turned into, I'm going to run a little bit this block, or I'm going to run this block, walk that block. And then it turned into, like, I can run more and I can run more. And then in July, this started kind of in March, and July came around, and
July of this year?
Of 2023.
Okay.
And my wife's like, hey, because she was running ever since when we met, we were both very heavy. she lost weight. I lost quite a bit of weight. Was down to like 220 from about 300. She had babies, kept running, kept the weight off, and she had babies, and I ate for her.
Yes.
And all my kids' food too.
Yeah.
And gained all the weight back.
I remember those days.
She's like, and she challenged me last July. She said, hey, let's do this 5K a day thing. So we ran a 5K every day for the month of July, and that carried over into August. But part of that, as you see in this weight drop and feeling better, it's like, well, let's go more extreme with our diet. So I started macro tracking and set myself up for like a 1,700 calorie a day goal. And
while running a 5K a day.
While running a 5K a day.
Okay.
And the weight I just shredded it. Like,
I would have
we're losing like a pound and a half a day.
Yeah, that's like 14-year-old girl cross country runner diet right there.
You know it.
Right.
I wasn't bulimic. I didn't throw it up, or I didn't like not eat. I just chose to eat way less. And if I could do 1,000 calories in a day, I was like proud of myself. I thought I was right.
Yeah.
But obviously I had muscle wasting, and I got weak. And I think the month of August, I think I ran almost 300 miles in August, almost 10 miles a day.
Looked like a marathoner, probably, didn't you?
I felt great. And then
really
September 5th of last year I ran 8.5 miles that morning, and I went out that night to do another run or jog or something. I don't remember, and kind of stepped down funny, and I felt something pop my lower back, and my almost like my calf cramped up. I started kind of like hobbling home, and I'm like, this is weird. Pulled a muscle. No, I ruptured a disc in my back, and it caused like a neurogenic effect to where I basically had a right leg that was paralyzed.
No shit.
And yeah,
so now you're hobbled up.
Hobbled up, and immediately got punched in the face with depression because now I can't run every day. I can't do anything.
Gain the weight back?
So I was right around 200, 205 then. Basically went into like not eating or eating very little to try to maintain this like deficit without working out. And then, like I said, I went into surgery like at like low 190s. But I came out of that going, I can't do that anymore, and I gotta focus on what I'm doing. So ate healthy, ate more protein, focused on gaining muscle, building muscle, and intentionally was lifting weights and doing what I could do. And they said you could walk as much as you want. So I started doing a whole bunch of incline walking.
Yeah.
Which I found I actually enjoy.
Yep.
And I did incline walk, and I was doing 3,000 calories a day and trying to get 250 grams of protein a day and trying to build muscle. And I put on about 25 more pounds through last like November till probably April.
Yeah.
And then I've been floating right around that 220 range until now. I'm in a deficit right now, but I'm doing it right. Trying to cut the fat.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Still trying to
eat my protein Pop-Tarts and my
your protein Pop-Tart and your protein chips. I noticed you ate just a little bit ago some protein chips. Chips with protein in them, if that's a thing.
I don't know, it tastes good.
Yeah,
there's no sugar in them.
I went through a phase too, man. But, well, I tell you look good.
I appreciate that. That's nice. That's the nicest thing you said to me today.
That's not true. I've said a lot of nice things to you today, have I not?
Today?
Yeah.
I don't remember. You made fun of my sweater.
No, I made fun of your vest.
The lack of, yeah.
Yeah, the only color I've ever seen bigger was on Dracula.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't have a response for that.
No, I know. That's all right. I just assumed you took it from your wife's closet.
How did your teeth hold up when that caramel you got from me? They
I didn't eat it, actually. Didn't touch it.
Really?
Too much sugar. I gave it away.
Well, it's nice of you.
Yeah. Did you think my dentures were going to pop out or what?
I was worried that your Fix-It wasn't strong enough.
Yeah.
You should use the extra strength kind.
So you guys down to 2 jobs now? Just the Carol?
No, I actually have like 5 or 6.
You do?
Yeah. So I still have.
But you got 4 kids now.
I do have 4 kids.
And you still claim you work out. So how do you manage all that?
I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and work out before anybody gets up.
Okay.
Usually, or
step 1.
On my off days, I wait till everybody's in school and content and taken care of and try to do it, or I'll wait till everybody goes to bed.
So with 5 jobs though, how do you have an off day?
They don't work all of them all the time. So like I still do the manning thing.
But you only get 3 days off in between your Carol shifts.
Yep.
Okay.
So
And the Carol shift is 2 days long.
2 days on, 3 days off. So I've been coming here 1 day a week for orientation.
Yeah.
And then my other off days, like I do my manning trauma stuff, which is usually like an hour or two a week, kind of right now. I was teaching at Iowa Western, but I haven't done that for a while.
Which is in Council Bluffs?
Council Bluffs. I work PRN for another ambulance service in Sac County, but I haven't worked there for a year.
Sac County.
Yep.
What?
Sac City.
Yeah.
So they call me like if somebody like last time I think he called me was last December when Iowa.
Do you know Charlie
happened.
Payton?
No idea who that is.
He worked up there before you did. Long time ago. Never mind.
Remember, I'm only like 30 something.
I know. It's hard for me to understand. I thought you were in your 40s. Clearly not.
But basically right now, primary focus is Mercy and Carol. And then I do like some education and manning still, and I'm training somebody to do the trauma reporting, kind of take it over for me. And I do have some other future plans here that are coming up soon, but
nothing you can
nothing I can disclose.
Nothing you can drop.
There's nothing official.
Right.
So
man, I kind of feel like I want to be the platform that happens on. You're going to drop some sort of big news.
Maybe. We'll see. When we shut these off, I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's all right. I don't need to know. Yeah, it's fun to have stuff that you keep stuff private. So how are you managing things now? Like everything's going well now. Like, do you think like you got a good grip on things? Like you've learned some lessons, you've had some self-reflection, you've done some growth, as we all have. I'm not saying just you. I'm just saying like there comes a point at least there came a point in my career where I was like, I think I got it figured out now. I'm not saying stuff isn't still difficult and I don't have challenges, but for the most part, like I'm pretty settled in. Not that, and that doesn't mean I don't stop learning. That doesn't mean I still stop. Like I've just recently tried to figure out like why I am the way I am, whatever that means to you.
Did you ever answer that question? Because I don't think we know.
No, like it's a deep dive. It's like an investigative journalist. Like we're just asking a lot of questions and trying to figure out. But I always wonder like how much of how I am now has been shaped by 20 years in EMS. Like, do you ever wonder that?
This conversation right here, this is like what me and my counselor talk about, like your protectors and what is basically inside of you that you grew up with and why you are the way you are, that they still pop up, that it's not about what you've learned as an adult, but what you've probably learned through your whole life and trying to exploit.
And I don't think there's any like sort of hidden childhood trauma that I've regressed and I'm like, oh, that's why, because of XYZ. I went to a Catholic church, let's say. I'm just saying, there is an interesting feeling of always feeling alarmed by things. Like I'm always seem to be spun up, like looking for threats, trying to figure out. You just seem like you're always turned on. And you work 2 or 3 jobs, you put a pager in your house or a radio in your house, and like that seemingly quiet night with your wife turns out to be mass chaos and adrenaline dumps. And then all of a sudden you come back to that and try to, come down from that. It takes a while. And in order to learn how to manage that, like when I got a pager out of my house, it was probably the best thing I ever did.
I shut mine off now.
Right.
I started doing that probably a year ago. I'd shut it off when I'm home.
Because you're disconnected and now you're not turned on. Where if that thing was on, whether I was on duty or off duty, the goddamn thing was on. And that was my own, one of many mistakes I made in my early career was always thinking that I was the answer. So even if I wasn't on duty, that radio would be on and I'd hear something go out. Oh, 1050 PI. That could sound bad. I wonder if they'll need another ambulance. I guess I better go, sweetie, just in case. Okay. Well, I just made dinner. Well, sorry. Duty calls. That kind of shit, right? Once I stopped doing that, and then it was, you go to another job because you're always trying to move up, right? So you start out wherever your hometown county service is, and you're like, wow, there's better out there. So I'll get a part-time job here. So I'll get my foot in the door. And then you get that job full-time. And then you're like, well, I kind of want to end up here in my career. So you get a part-time job there. So you're always kind of bouncing around from job to job, doing the same job, but just always whatever, and bringing that stuff home with you. It was always interesting to me how it shaped me over the years. Like my kids make fun of me because I eat dinner really fast. like I can't not eat fast because I'm just trying to get it down before something happens. Right? Like even at home, and I know there's zero chance that somebody's going to call me out of my home for an emergency situation, I will be the first one done every time. And that's always been interesting to me. But how I react to certain things and how we go through fate. Like, I don't know if you've ever realized this, but like, have you ever just gone home and just like walked in the house and went in your room and shut the door?
I know.
It's like basically called crashing. Like you've crashed, like you're like a computer is shut down. Like there's no more you have to offer. And it doesn't matter. You could walk through fire in your kitchen, right? But I'm done emotionally and mentally. I'm going to go to my room and I'm going to sit there for however long it takes for me to reboot. I thought that was a good thing. Oh no, it ain't.
No.
I thought I was doing everybody a favor by saying, hey, listen, but the goal is to not let yourself get to that. Right. So in the middle is I'll have to show you what I got. And it's a cool story, right, bro? But like that is the red, and in the middle the yellow is like you're always kind of mad and pissed off and annoyed and everybody's stupid and I'm the smartest guy in the room, and you know you don't want to be there either. But in the bottom is the green, and that's where you want to live, like where you're physically and emotionally and mentally like in it, where your best self is. But I've always wondered like why I kind of hover in that almost that yellow, where I'm just kind of just revved up all the time. And we're starting to learn a few things about me, but I mean, there's no bombshell. You know, I didn't have any. But I think I don't ever want to blame my job.
Yep.
But for things that I do in life, like, but it's hard not to associate that stuff in our professions. Does that make sense?
100%. Because like our job is to take control of the situation and try to fix it.
Yes.
And we do that even when we don't need to.
Right.
And then that affects how we react to things, you know, and like you can live in the green, but not every day is the same. You're going to have bad days. And even just because it's good right now doesn't mean that, the hard work's over. You know, it's like you said earlier, every day is hard work. Even if you are having a good day or you're living in, as you said, the green versus the yellow,
Yeah.
there's still some effort you have to put into it, you know, to stay healthy, stay well. But
You have 4 kids?
I have 4 kids.
Isn't that something? It's just 2 weren't bad. 3 was like that seemed to like increase the workload exponentially, and then 4 is just like whatever. But man, that's a lot to manage, isn't it? And to try to keep your shit together around those kids. That was my biggest challenge. I seemed to always being like at work I knew what to do, or at least I thought I knew what to do. Like, and at home I never knew what to do, so I would always be overwhelmed. And then that feeling of being overwhelmed would always come out as frustration, and then daddy blows up.
Mm-hmm.
I hated that about me. I kind of understand why now, but
Yep.
it was I didn't know what to do. I had no control. Not that they didn't do what I said. That's what I'm saying, but I'm saying like 3 or 4 kids by yourself at home when you've had 2 hours of sleep is an overwhelming feeling.
Well, I've been there. I know what you're talking about. Like,
and then sometimes you just like you just lose your shit, and
Yep.
It was never fair to them. Luckily, there has been no long-term damage. I used to think that they would say, well, you know, EMS got a high divorce rate. Well, fuck, divorce rates are high anyway. Like, it doesn't matter if you're an EMS or not, or fire, or PD, or you're a banker or whatever. Like, so I was like, that's bullshit. Like, it's not just EMS. I can see why. Like, I get it.
100%.
Thankfully, I avoided that, or at least have thus far. But I can certainly see where that gets in the way of relationships and being able to manage kids when somebody's been with your kids for 24 hours and you finally arrive home and they're like, sweet, I got some help. And you're like, nah, sorry, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Been up for 2 days. Ain't going to do it.
Do you ever find like when you're in that level, right? Are you just more easily triggered? Like you walk in and you kind of have this mental thought process of where you're going with your day, and then it doesn't work that way, and it just kind of triggers you, where you're more quick to react and probably say things that you're not happy about?
I would say, I'd like to think I've grown, Kenny, since those days. But for example, yesterday was a good one. I always have a vision of how my day is going to go in my head. My days off. I never not have a plan. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's when I'm going to do it. And what I didn't realize is when that doesn't happen, I get real annoyed. Like, and it bothers me. It adds anxiety to my day that that is unnecessary. Like, for example, I'll get up in the morning and say, well, I just don't know how I'm going to get everything done today. I've got so much to do today and then usually by 2:00 it's all done because I will manically get that shit crossed off my list, right? But if something happens in the morning and that gets derailed a little bit, it really sends me into some sort of mental like weirdness because now I don't have control. I'm not in control anymore. It could be something as a kid coming home from school sick. I didn't plan on that. Well, now I got to deal with this, right? Minor inconveniences, not tragedies, minor inconveniences. And it really annoys me that I'm annoyed by it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? Like I can't just be like, shit happens. I'll figure it out.
Well, I have one kid in daycare still. And I come home and I have my day plan and I feel overwhelmed and I feel like I have all these things to do. And if I'll make an actual physical paper list, write it down and look at it and go, well, that ain't so bad. I can do that. I can knock that out. And then my wife said, hey, you're taking, the baby to daycare today, right?
No, didn't plan on that.
That wasn't on my list.
Right.
And then it's like, well, yeah, but I have to be to work by 8:00. I can't do it. I'm like you said, it just
passive aggressive
it
sigh.
annoys you to the point that like you get frustrated with it, but it's not that big of a deal. Just
it's 10 minutes out of my day.
It's 15 minutes there and back. Like I can do that.
Something as simple as my wife the other day forgot her computer and she called me. She's like, hey, can you bring my computer up to school? And I'm like, I guess, and I wasn't really mad about it. I was just like, well, traffic is really busy and it's like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to start my list at 8:05. I got to wait till I'm 8:15. And that's the shit I'm interested in. Why I think that way. I'm really interested in knowing why that happens. Like, what is the root cause of that? Because that's not normal, in my opinion, right?
Well, I just like to know that I'm not the only one that.
No, the beauty of this whole thing is realizing that you if you can think it, somebody else has thought it, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, you're not by yourself. None of us in this job are. We think we are, and that's probably our number one downfall. But I'm interested in knowing why I think that way. Like, that is not normal. But we're not normal. I told somebody the other day, I can play catch with my kid in the front yard and find 8 different ways for them to die. That ain't fucking normal.
No.
Right?
No.
And the fact that I had to spend my time thinking about that is not normal. But the whole reaction to my wife the other day about taking her computer up, like it was a major inconvenience to me. Like, right? That shit I'm interested in knowing why I think that way. And I haven't found the answer yet, other than I'm just not a normal person. And I think it's because we've been shaped a certain way. I find the answer, I'll let you know.
Yeah. I'd be interested in that. Other than that, like I said, I know we're fixers, but that's not, as a fixer, we should want to fix the problem, right? Take her the computer. But like you said, it's annoying and it's frustrating and aggravating, but I don't want to react that way.
I don't either.
I don't want to make her feel bad about it. Like, just go do it.
Somebody asked me the other day if I could change one thing right now today, what would it be? And I said it would be the constant feeling of just being annoyed. Like things just aren't going my way, but they are. Like, they are going my way, but they don't feel like they're going my way, and that annoys me. Do you see the common?
Right. You're always winning. Even when you're losing, you're still winning.
No, I'm just saying, like, it just annoys me. Like, just certain small things, and it's not normal. But I'm big on let's figure it out. Like, I don't know any other way other than that whole growth mindset process is very hard. It's kind of like when you have to look at yourself and go, listen, I don't physically care for what I look like, but I can change certain things and make my physical appearance be different. It's very hard to picture what you want to look like emotionally and mentally, right? Because there's not a, I don't have anything, I don't have a prototype to go off of. I don't know what that means. I know how it should feel, but there's no, you want to lose weight, it's the formula is simple. Stop eating so much fucking food. Stop putting so much food in your mouth. And then after a while, you lose some weight. And then you lose some more weight. But when you want to fix yourself or at least grow emotionally and mentally, like, where are the benchmarks for that? The fact that I didn't lose my shit today, I don't know. Is that right? Is that the thing? Like, how do I see that? You can't see that in the mirror.
That's interpretation. Like
I
everybody's gonna be
guess.
different, right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
How do you know you're making progress in that realm?
That's what I was gonna
Like,
say. Like, how do you know? How do you know if you're winning at that battle? Like, you don't, because there's no score.
right. That's the tough part.
There's no scale to step on. Oh yeah, I'm winning this one. You know.
Oh yeah. Maybe, I guess if you take it one by one, but it's not like I'm not attacked every day by situations that I have to try to temper. But maybe in traffic I don't.
Does traffic drive you crazy in the metro? Do you get? Are you an angry driver?
No,
Annoyed.
I'm not an angry. I just don't like to be encumbered. Okay, so I just like to be in my space and mind my own goddamn business. I don't want to have to slow down for you, and I don't want to have to speed up for you.
Where do
Okay,
you live from here? Waukee?
you know, just half hour from here.
So you get a little country drive in.
I just a little bit,
Yeah.
but at the time of the day we come to work, like, it's pretty open. But I'm not gonna be on the interstate by myself at 4:30 in the morning to go turkey hunting, and all of a sudden I have to merge to the left lane because somebody's getting on the on ramp. You shitting me? It's 4:30 in the morning. What are you doing out? Like, it's ridiculous that I have to. That see, you see.
Yeah, right?
I should be by myself on
Now,
this
like,
road, and I'm
well, out where I'm from, out there, in
There's
West
people
Iowa,
everywhere,
You know, I
Kenny.
came up on this tractor, and I'm like, you're inconveniencing me. Like, why are you going 18 miles an hour? This
Yeah.
isn't okay.
But you know what's changed my view of that a little bit is I try to picture them as my kids driving. So I have soon to be 18-year-old girl who abides by the law. And how would I feel if some asshole was behind her who's going the exact speed limit? I don't want to be that guy because I don't really know who's in the car in front of me. I just know that I take a big, deep, passive-aggressive sigh when I have to hit the brakes on the highway. But I try to turn it into, well, okay, but what if this is a 16-year-old girl just got her license and she's scared shitless because she's going down what I call the gauntlet, which is Highway 169, where all the deer live, and it's 6:00 in the morning. It seems to temper me pretty good.
Okay.
The interstate's a whole nother ballgame.
Oh, yeah.
That is a lawless place.
Do you get hangry too? Like, if you're
No.
hungry, you get like a little feisty, a little
No,
testy.
but I can see where you would.
What do you mean by that?
No.
Are you going? I thought you were told to stop with the fat jokes.
I don't think you can call them fat jokes.
Well, whatever you call them.
I would call them words of encouragement. All right, man, we're up to an hour. Is there anything else you want to talk about? This has been a good talk. I think you're the exact audience for this. If I have an audience, I think of you when I think of this now. You're a young kid, married, young wife, bunch of kids. You're EMSing as much as you can EMS. You're trying to keep up the good fight with your physical well-being and your mental well-being. Like, this is it. You feel like you're doing it?
I feel like I still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, don't we
I
all?
feel like I'm making progress, and I think the one thing that, like, anybody needs to know, if they're struggling or they want to get healthier, is you have to invest in yourself, and you have to take it seriously, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally. They all go together.
They all go together.
And the fight's it's never going to end. So it's got to be. It's a lifelong change. It's not just like, oh, I can do this today and I'm going to win for the next week. Like, it's a daily fight. So.
Yeah, well said. Taylor, what about you? Got anything you want to say?
About what?
Never mind. All right. That's it, everybody. Work hard. Be kind. Bye.
Hey guys, thanks again for listening to another episode of the Shift Change Podcast. I need to ask if you would leave a rating. I think that it helps people who are new to the podcast find it quicker. It doesn't do me any good, but it does help other people that are looking for the Shift Change podcast on Spotify or Apple. It just comes up quicker the more ratings that you give it. I don't whether you give it a 2 or a 5, it doesn't make a difference. It just helps other people. If you need to get a hold of me, contact me via my email, the show email, which is talkshiftchange@gmail.com. Or you can message me on Instagram at talk.shiftchange. Excuse me, at talk.shiftchange on Instagram. As always, thanks for listening. I could not have imagined how well this podcast has been received. So, as always, I appreciate it. Work hard, be kind.